Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dragon's Lair. My name is Wade, and this is my show, Let's Talk. And we're talking about Warhammer 40k, 10th edition, Tyranids. And this is me talking about the Neurotyrant. So, the Neurotyrant is pretty new, it's new to 10th edition. It's a cool model, in my opinion. I think it looks really cool with all of its tentacles and everything. And I like brain bugs, so I like zonothropes and neurothropes and things like that. So I think the Neurotyrant is pretty cool. Um, the word HQ no longer applies like it did in ninth, but it would have been an HQ. um, Movement 6, not great. Keep in mind it flies. Keep in mind flying is different now. Now you have to measure the distance up and over something. So you hear me talk about Tyranids, and I am a little salty because at the end of ninth we were pretty great, and now it's pretty tough to survive. Look at the win rates in the meta. Not that the meta is everything. The meta is not everything, but look at the win rates. So movement 6 not great. It does fly. Keep that in mind. Flying is new. Keep that in mind. I just said all that. Toughness 8. It feels like a lot. It's not a lot. Um, you're going to get melted by a lot of things. You're going to get melted by plasma guns and melted guns and las cannons and dark lances, and just you're going to get melted. Um, I try not to be salty about it, but toughness 8 is not great. It feels like a lot, but it's not. Save plus 4, who cares? Because it's got a 4 plus invulnerable. With things like these, in my opinion, the 4 plus invulnerable is what you're going to be using the vast majority of the time. Wound 9, it feels like a lot. It's not. You'll get melted. You'll get melted pretty quickly. Um, I say this in every video, and I think it's important for me to say it again. I play against people who are very tough, very strong, and they bring very strong lists, and they have a very strong command over the rules. So it's hard though, because they're good friends of mine, and they're not competitive. Like, they're not bad players, and they're not bad sports. It's just they're not fooling around, and they bring really good, tough lists that are hard to beat. So maybe if I played against new people or other people who just weren't that way and weren't as veterans and weren't as I only bring good stuff because I want to do well, then maybe I'd have better luck. So, Leadership 7, who cares? Because this is a Synops monster. Going back down to the keywords, it provides Synops, which is 6 inches in this edition, which is good. Objective Control 3, to me that doesn't really matter much because I've never lost objective control by a small number. I've never lost objective control by a single number, a single digit number. It's always 12 or 14 or whatever. So I'm sure Objective Control 3 will make a difference someday on some distant battlefield. It's just not this one. Ranged weapon, Psychic Scream, ignores cover, pretty good. Psychic, good in most situations. Torrent, really good. Means automatically hits. So ignores cover and automatically hits, pretty awesome. 18 inches, pretty good. I find that to be pretty good. See, I don't have just bad things to say. 2d6 attacks. That's pretty good because you're talking about a torrent weapon. Strength 5, not bad. Sorry. Your wounded Marines on a 3. The problem here is the AP. No one's going to get cover, so that's good. Uh, let's see. Average of 6 attacks. All of them hit. 3 wounds, and they're probably going to shrug off 2 with the AP1. So you can kill 1 Marine. I feel that's about your average. And don't even talk about vehicles. It's not touching vehicles. So, and of course, you're going to get better results if you're spraying down because it's like a spray attack. You're going to get better results if you're spraying down fire warriors or orc boys or guardsmen or the rank and file lowbie nobodies of most armies, but that's about all it's good for. Melee weapons, the claws. Claws are okay. 6 attacks, no AP. You're not hurting anything. You're just not. That can lead Neurogaunts, which I think are a waste of points, personally. And Tyrant Guard, which is, in my opinion, where all the money is in Tyrant Guard. Um, and it can't be equipped with anything different. Its abilities, though, on the other hand, pretty cool. So, core, it's a leader. Uh, it benefits from Synapse. In this case, when you see abilities, faction, Synapse, that means it benefits from Synapse. However, it's a Synapse creature. It provides Synapse. Look down at its keywords. So it doesn't need Synapse. Once again, Synapse is 6 inches. Shadow of the Warp, pretty cool. Lots of psychic creatures has Shadow of the Warp. Now let's get into the abilities. Node Lash, Psychic. While this model is leading a unit, Tyrant Guard, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll if the target is battle shocked, and add 1 to the hit roll. Period. If the target is battle shocked, add +1 to the wound roll. This is where I bring Tyrant Guard with it. I put the Rending Claws on them. Rending Claws would go up to a weapon skill of 4, with Node Lash goes back down to 3. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Crab Claws. I'm sorry, the Crushing Claws. Put the Crushing Claws on it. It would be a 4, goes back down to a 3. That's pretty good. I forget the strength on that, but it's pretty high. But high strength with a add 1 to the wound. That's going to hurt. That's pretty cool. Psychic Terror. If one or more models from your army with this ability are on the battlefield when you unleash the Shadow of the Warp, subtract 1 from the Battle Shock test of the enemy unit on the battlefield. Man. In this Shadow of the Warp, subtract 1 from the Battle Shock test. Each enemy unit on the battlefield must take a Battle Shock result. As a result. So that's going to really hurt Guardsmen. I don't know what it's going to do to Fire Warriors or Orc Boys, but I've seen that like almost every unit in Imperial Guard Army be Battle Shocked, which is pretty cool. They get a -1 to it. There's other things you can do to pump that up. Pump those rookie numbers up. Neuroloids, this is pretty cool in my opinion. So the model comes with these 2 smaller bases, and this is where the Neuroloids are. In your command phase, you can select up to 2 friendly Tyranid units within 18 inches of this model unit. Until the start of your next command phase, the selected units are always considered to be within Synapse range. That's really cool. So then you use the little squiggly squid men to represent it on the table, and I think that says it in note. Place Neuroloid token next to each selected unit to remind you. So I think that's something cool that they did with 10th edition. It definitely helps. Where I have seen a lot of success with this is, so I mostly play Invasion Fleet. I want to try other things. I'm really drawn to Crusher Stampede because I've always loved big monsters. I love hordes of Hormagaunts, so I want to try Unending Swarm. And most of the time, I love Psychic Bugs, so of course Psychic Nexus should be big for me. I haven't experimented with any of them. Here's my point that I want to get past to you. So a lot of things, I say a lot, but it's like 2 things that are stratagems with the Invasion Fleet. They affect 1 thing, or they affect 1 unit, or they affect 2 units that are within Synapse. So the stratagem where you can bring back, I think it's D3 plus 3 gaunts, or maybe it's just D3. Anyways, the point is you can hit 2 different units with that and bring back more gaunts. So I have run this guy, so Neurotyrant with 3 Tyrant Guard, and then 2 10-mans of gaunts. Or I think I even ran him once with 2 20-mans of gaunts. And you can just keep on bringing the gaunts back. And it's really helpful. I like the Neurotyrant. I wish he was cooler. I missed the 9th edition Neurothropes. That was my jam. But here we go. It's not a bad unit. It's fun. The Psychic Weapon has come in handy for me. But that's it. That's my review of the Neurotyrant. I really enjoy sharing this stuff with you guys. We here at the Dragon's Lair understand that you can spend your time on the internet anywhere you want. I want to say thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon's Lair.